Welcome everybody to the preview show in association with Sportsbroker. I'm pleased to be joined by Lee Nicholls and Paul Clements, part of our Goalkeeping Union here at Huddersfield Town. How are you two doing?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, good, thanks.
Good.
Right, on cue.
If we just start, Lee, with your thoughts on the Stoke game, I thought we were unlucky to miss out on Saturday.
Yeah, I thought we deserved something from the game. I think we played well as a team. I think we controlled the game well. We had a few chances. As a team, it was just two sloppy goals, really. I thought we did create the better chances. I thought we had more chances. And I think as a team, as a whole, we come away thinking like we were disappointed not to take something from the game.
Yeah. What about you, Clem? When you watch the games, are you more watching Lee, or are you watching the full game and caring about the full result?
Yeah, I think when I watch the game live, obviously, if the ball goes that way, I'm checking where Lee's starting positions are, and Lee might be communicating with me from the pitch. So I don't watch it like maybe you guys would, but obviously I've got the role with the fourth official and on the communication up in the stands. So I don't watch it as maybe everybody else watches it, because we're all doing the same thing. It's not best use of our time, but yeah, I came away frustrated, really. I thought, if I'm honest, I think a draw would have been a fair result. I agree with Lee. We had the better chances. I think we just got to take confidence from that, because they're a good side and they'll be up there. And I think, like, if that had been last season, the season before, we might have been on the wrong end of a 2 or 3, 4-0. So, we see progression. We're frustrated. I'm never going to sit here and say we're happy with a defeat, because we're not. But I think it's one of them where you just got to stay positive and build on it tomorrow night.
Yeah, definitely. And as you just touched on, it's joys of the Championship. Straight back into it tomorrow night, Bloomfield Road at Blackpool. But if we leave that for 1 second, Lee, how are you settling into the club? It's been a couple of months now since you've joined, but how is life at Huddersfield for you?
Yeah, it's been good. It's been a really good start for myself. Apart from probably COVID, I've probably the perfect start. But yeah, I've loved every moment of it. I've told Clem, like, I just fell in love with the club. I've just sort of come in. It's just a pleasure to come in and work, and the way the club's set up, everyone from down to the chairman, to the fans, to the town, everything has been top notch so far.
That's good. And what's it like training with Clem? Because I've seen you guys out on the pitch. He don't give you an easy time of it.
No, it's definitely different from what I've worked from before, but like, it's been good. Like, I've seen the improvements in myself since day one, since I've come in, and it's challenging. It's like, we're out in training, we're having debates. Like, it's like, just try it and see if it works for you. And yeah, I think I've come on a lot since the start of pre-season.
What's it like settling in as a goalkeeper? Because obviously you guys train somewhat separately. Obviously you're on the same pitch and you're around the guys in the dressing room and everything, but it's a bit different to being an outfield player, isn't it? Does it take slightly longer becoming part of the group, or is it your own little thing?
No, I think it's more like people talk about the union, and I think when I first come in, I think Ryan just looked after me from day one. Since as soon as I walked in the dressing room, he was helping me where they should go, showing me around the place, showing me where everything was. And I think it's a massive credit to Ryan that how well I've settled in, because he for the first 2 or 3 weeks he did really look after me.
Oh, that's good to hear. What about you, Clem? What's it like working with Lee? How's he been, sort of, from your perspective, since he joined?
Absolute disaster. No, he's he's everything. I think that the hardest thing when you're recruiting goalkeepers is you watch them play, and you watch you like get snippets of training sessions, and you speak to people, and you try and do as much research on them as you can, but ultimately you don't know if you're going to click until you're on the grass together. And obviously you can't have him in on trial or anything like that, because it's a transfer. So I think I've been really pleased the way we've just connected. He respects the way I work. he knows that I want him to chip in and not just be a silent one with the younger ones, and he's certainly took up that role. And yeah, you know, I've just been really pleased with the group as a general. I think the dynamic's really good, and Lee obviously has been a massive part of that. And obviously Lee's the senior one. He's what, sort of 8 years older than anyone else in the group. So he's took on that role really well, and credit to him so far.
That's good to hear. Sort of, it's an interesting point to ask you on, and something that I think that the fans have picked up as well on is we don't have a number one player in terms of the squad numbers, and that was your shout in that. I think symbolically you wanted both Lee and Ryan to have something to aim for and target. Can you just run us through that decision and what the thinking behind it was?
Yeah, I think in the summer we were looking for someone to really push Ryan. I think, if I'm honest, Ryan was pushing Ben last year, and when we brought Ben back, we made it all about Ben. We said, look, you're the number one. You're getting the number one shirt because he was 12 before. Come on, this is your season with the town fans. You've got to step up to the mark. And we felt that we got him going. We got him going enough. There was quite a lot of interest in him, and he wanted to pursue that interest and leave. And you know, I only want lads who want to be at the club first and foremost. So Ryan comes into the team, does really well, but it was quite a big pressure on him last year. And there was probably a period where he needed to come out of the team, but we didn't really feel that the ones behind him deserved to play. So he got through it and he finished strong. So the first question was, do we give Ryan the number one shirt for next season? He's done really well. And I just thought it was too much for him too early. He's still learning, he's still developing. Yeah. He loves this club, and I just thought that shirt for him carries so much weight that we just didn't want to kill him. And then obviously with Lee coming in, we said to Lee, look, you're not going to be the out and out number one. You know, we've got a good young keeper, but you'll get game time, you'll come, you'll challenge. And you know, Lee's challenge is to establish himself as a championship number one. You know, he has played in the league previously, but his main game time's been in League One, so it was a challenge for Lee. So I just thought they've both got a number one on their back, 21 and 31, and the number one shirt for this club is up for grabs. Come and take it. And you know, obviously Lee's got the shirt at the minute, and you know, he's in possession of it. He's doing really well. You know, if we brought another goalkeeper in, he'd have to keep that shirt. If we get to the summer and he's played every game and he's the out and out number one and he wants that shirt, then that shirt means something to this club, and you don't just get it willy-nilly, you know. So so yeah, it was my shout, and I just thought that between the two of them, come on, nothing comes easy in life. Come and have it out, and yeah, that was the reason, really.
Yeah, create a bit of competition within the squad, because that's always sort of indicative of getting better performance out of everyone to have them something to earn.
It can be. It can work both ways, because you know, you take, like, say for example, Kasper Schmeichel. I know that he likes to be the main man in it. He has to be. I mean, Jonas was the same, to be honest. He was better when he knew it was all about him. You take Shay Given and Steve Harper, who fought it out for years. They got the best out of each other. It just depends. But I think Lee and Ryan have massive respect for each other, and like I said, the dynamic's really good. I think they're learning off each other, and I think Ryan did need to come out the team and just have that sort of period out, which kind of didn't go to plan because Lee decided to get COVID the day before the season. But ultimately now we're in a position where Lee's got the shirt and Lee's doing really, really well, and so long it continues.
Yeah, Lee, you've made a really good start to the campaign, and you've sort of made that step up from League One, as Clem says, into the Championship. How's that transition been for you? Is there any immediate differences you've noticed between the two divisions?
Yeah, just the pace of it, and the quality in the Championship. I played it before, so obviously I've played there and I've seen it before. But obviously playing so many games in League One, you just see it straight away. It's up to me now to make sure I can match that.
Is there anything about your game or anything on the training field you've had to adapt to, deal with that pace?
No, not for the pace. I think me and Clem have just worked hard on making me a better overall keeper. We've worked on things that may improve me and may help me to make more saves. And personally, I can see the differences already.
You've spoken about, and Clem touched on this again, about the relationship you and Ryan have, being each other's biggest fans. How does that work? Is it slightly strange in that you're in competition with each other, but at the same time, there is that want for each other to be the best possible keeper?
Yeah, of course. I just use Saturday as an example. Like, Ryan messaged me directly and was like, "Good luck, go and do your thing." And I think that's just the respect we have for each other. I think we're mates off the pitch, and I think we genuinely do want the best for each other. And like, if Ryan was to ever play a game, if he ever got the shirt, like, I would be the first one to back him. I'd be the first one to make sure that everyone was right for him to go on the pitch and perform well.
Oh, that's good. Clem, part of your role at the club, and obviously having come through the academy and then becoming the overall head of goalkeeping, is bringing through the younger lads and creating that pathway between our academy setup and the first team. How does that work in practice then? What are you doing with the younger lads to try and get them prepared for first team football and sort of keep them at the club long term?
I think like this morning, the first team are not training until this afternoon. I've been out with a younger group this morning, so I work with them as much as I can. I like to work with 4 keepers, so I'll have Lee, Ryan and 2 of the younger ones. Obviously, we've got 2 senior goalkeepers and trying not to have 3 and 4 creates a natural pathway. Nicholls has been on the bench the last couple of games, which has been great experience for him. But obviously it's just getting that balance between creating the pathway and not having too much risk that, touch every bit of wood going. If anything happened to one of them 2, we don't leave ourselves short. But no, I like to give young goalkeepers an opportunity. That's why I have to bring in people like Lee who are going to accept that they're training with younger goalkeepers, because I've certainly been with goalkeepers before who don't like that. And I think it's my job is to facilitate things. I don't, people say coaching, it's facilitating. So I can, like Lee said earlier, we have debates on the pitch. I put them in situations where we've got to work stuff out. And, the senior ones obviously lead a lot of the times because they've been through that more often. But for me, it's just about giving the lads opportunities, and that's on a daily basis. I'll have Nick and Gio train with us this afternoon. They've got to be good enough to train with us. So obviously that's why I've been working with the younger ones this morning to prepare them.
Yeah.
And then obviously, if you look at Ryan, the amount of money that's getting spent on goalkeepers, even squad goalkeepers, you look at the wages that are being paid in the Championship, not even the Premier League, they cost money. And if we can bring through our own, or bring them in at 15, 16 for a low price and develop them, then it's cost effective. And 2, you get lads who actually want to play for the club. So for me, I'm a massive advocate of bringing the young ones through. And for that, like you say, you have to forge them a pathway. Otherwise, they just don't get an opportunity. If we had 3, 4 senior goalkeepers, they wouldn't even get the opportunity to train with the first team.
Yeah.
In the small-sided games, etc. So, it's a big thing for me. It's a big thing.
What's it been like for you, Lee, sort of being more involved with the younger keepers? And obviously, like Clemence says, Nick's been on the bench the past few games. Is that something that gives you a bit of value added to your day-to-day job and sort of concentrating on your own performances? you become a mentor and that senior figure for those younger lads. Is that something you're enjoying and quite like about the club?
Yeah, well, when I was a kid at 16, I was at Wigan, and we had 3 senior keepers who were really good with me, who really looked after me, who really showed me the way and the way I should act and the way I should be around the club and treat people. And it's a credit to them, to be honest, because I think they sort of set the example. So they, all the way through my career, I've sort of based it off them. And yeah, I just like to help them. I'd like to show them the way, and I'd like one of them to be sat here when they're 28 and say the same thing I'm saying about the likes of Mike Pollock, Chris Kirkland, Scott Carson. Like, these are keepers that that played a big part in my career, and yeah, for me, it's a massive credit to them.
Do the younger lads, sort of Nick and Gio, do they come to you for advice, even Ryan, and sort of, ask questions about their own game and areas in which they could improve, or even ask you about parts of your games that they might be able to nick?
No, I don't think they ask me specifically. I sort of try and help them as much. Like, if I see something where they could do something else that maybe would improve the game, then I'll tell them. But I don't think they're the type of people that come up and ask me and stuff like that. But yeah, I think they're improving a lot, and it's a good bunch, to be honest. I think they're all hardworking, and they've just got to keep pushing. And I think every one of them's got a hell of a chance.
It sounds really good. It sounds like, Clem, there's quite a healthy atmosphere among the keepers at the club. Is that sort of one of the most satisfying parts of coaching or facilitating, as you call it, just sort of having that group of lads together and seeing the fact that they all pull for each other and they all want each other to do the best they possibly can?
Yeah, because there's nothing worse than having a moody one who's not willing to chip in, and it's all about him. And there has been times on the training pitch, of course, where the standard ain't being good enough, and I've got to get into him and protect Lee's session, because he's got to train hard. But ultimately, like Lee says, everyone was a young keeper once, and like Gio and Nick in particular, the ones who are training with us more at the moment, that they've got so many good attributes, and that like Lee says, we think they've got a chance of having a career. And it's been a great experience for Nick over the last couple of games being on the bench. I feel like I need to explain that. So Ryan's struggling with a bit of a sore back. He's grown. He's grown 1.5 centimeters, which sometimes you have a late spurt at 21. And it's just obviously knocked everything out of sync. And, don't get me wrong, we actually feel that, touch wood, if there was something up with Lee, Ryan could step on the pitch. But the better thing to do is to rest him for a few days. Now, to be able to do that, you have to have someone you trust, and we trust Nick to be on the bench, because ultimately, if he had to come on, we think he'd handle the situation really well. And that's a credit to everyone at the club. It's not just me as the goalkeeping coach, it's Dan Hughes, who works with him in the gym, with all the keepers, with the strength and conditioning, Nessan with the nutrition. Like, Lee's lost 3 kg since coming into the club. He's a lot more lean and powerful. And Matt Toms, our psychologist, who obviously speaks with them, dealing with all the different scenarios that come up. So it's just making sure that everyone's got that access to everything, to make sure that they enjoy coming to work. And that's ultimately what I've got at the minute. Is I've got a group of goalkeepers who enjoy coming to work. I absolutely buzz off the grass, being on the grass with them, love it. And nothing is better than us winning with a clean sheet and the goalkeepers making a telling contribution. It's perfect situation.
I might need to have a word with Nessa myself, because losing 3 kg sounds like something that'll be right up my street. If we talk about the next game, Blackpool, what have you been talking about and preparing for that game, Lee? Because obviously there's such a quick turnaround from Saturday stuck away to tomorrow night going to the seaside. How do you deal with that turnaround and prepare for that game?
I think we've just got to focus on us. Like, it's going to be a tough game. There's no easy games in the Championship. Blackpool beat Fulham on Saturday. So it's going to be a tough game, but we need to just be us. We're going to any game thinking we can win whoever we're playing. So we just need to be ready. We just need to be us, and we just need to bounce back from Saturday.
This might be a stupid question. I hold my hands up. You two can laugh at me afterwards if it is. But one concern I always have about these, late night games on a Tuesday, especially somewhere like Blackpool where it's going to be freezing, is as a keeper, how do you stay warm? Because I've got enough fret sat in the press box, and I'm going to have a big old coat on. How do you keep yourself warm when you're in the goal? And hopefully it's a quiet evening for you. Sorry.
To be honest, I don't think I've ever been on the pitch and thought, "Oh, I'm cold here." I think it's just
really
the adrenaline. I don't know. Maybe you're just in the game. You just get on with this sort of thing. Yeah.
What about you, Clem? When it gets a bit cold here in December, do you stick a coat on to go out training, or is it the same thing?
No, do you know what? When I train with the keepers, when we go out, I've always got shorts on.
No tights.
Fine. No tights, never. I'm absolutely fine until we go over with the team, and then maybe I'm like stood behind the goal, like watching the lads. And then I need to wrap up. I look like the Michelin man then. But yeah, when we're working hard, so the body's warm and we're good to go. Yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting one, because even like I say, that's one thing from being sat in the stands all those years and things. I've always wondered, is that keeper's done nothing for about half an hour. He must be freezing. But if you're warm, then that's probably a good thing. Clem, from your perspective, sort of scouting and analysing ahead of the Blackpool game, how do you go about that? Do you concentrate more on their forwards? Are you looking at what their keeper does? Are you giving like Fraser and Josh and Sorba tips on what their keeper does well and does badly? Or how does your role sort of fit into that sort of a thing?
Yeah, without giving anything away tactically, we
of course.
I'll look after the attacking trends, we call it, which obviously the analyst department prepare videos for us to look through, and then we decide what we want to show the players. But from the goalkeeping point of view, we look at how they press us on goal kicks, how they create their chances, what's their main threats. Like obviously when we played Stoke the other day, we knew they were going to put lots of balls into the box, but I know that kind of a week in advance so we can drip it into the training week.
Yeah.
And then, obviously I like to watch the other goalkeepers as well. So I will speak with the strikers and things about the goalkeeper, maybe the goalkeeper's weaknesses that we can exploit. But it's all done on individual clips, so it's not necessarily like me presenting in a room. At times it's on the iPads in the dressing room. As goalkeepers, we do have a meeting on the attacking trends. I present to the lads. We do the penalties and free kicks. So we look at the penalty takers, the direct free kicks that we think are gonna hit the target. So we go into the game as best prepared as we can, but we try and do one game at a time, because I don't want to start working on Blackpool before Stoke, and I don't want to start working on Forest before Blackpool, because I want Lee to go on the pitch and be clear in his mind what's gonna come. But ultimately, anything can happen in a game, so that's why I try and prepare the keepers for any eventuality that could happen, rather than just solely focusing on, say we're playing a team who crosses, let's just do crossing all week. It can't be that, but we certainly drip feed it into the training. And obviously the coaching staff, we were in yesterday. We're in since 7 o'clock this morning. It's Monday midday at the time of recording. We'll be in late tonight, and we're in all day before the game tomorrow. So there's a lot of hours off the pitch that go into it, and we've got to keep the lads fresh, so they're not in the building as much as us. But there's certainly a lot of analysing and preparing going into the game.
Lee, for you, when you're on the pitch and stuff, say the opposition goalkeeper has a worldie or something like that, are you watching him and sort of, when you have a word with him at the end of the game and stuff, do you congratulate each other? How far does the Goalkeeper Union go? Or are you kind of sat there in your own goal hoping he chucks one in his own net? How does it go for you?
No, it's a weird one. Like, obviously we want to win every game, but obviously if he's had a good game, I'll say to him, well played, good save, I don't know, like, I thought you were unlucky there if we've won or whatever, but obviously we want to win, but it's just all respect, to be honest.
Yeah, there's kind of a mutual respect across all goalkeepers, then, I guess.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. I think, obviously, you get some people who are maybe not buy into it or maybe a bit different, but for me personally, I think it's massive. I think, you know, like, if you have a stinker, the first person you turn to is your goalie coach and someone in the team or another goalkeeper, or you go off the pitch and you speak to someone who used to play and get their opinion and stuff. And yeah, I think it's definitely there, yeah.
Perfect. Right, Lee, you've got a gym session soon, so I'm just going to fly through a couple of quick questions. Otherwise, Clem will be telling me off. So, for the two of you, would you rather win 1-0 or 5-1?
1-0.
1-0.
1-0. I thought that might be the answer. Lee, for you, with sort of, especially at home, what's the atmosphere for you with the fans directly behind the goal, especially in the cowshed? Is that something you've picked up on? Is that something you enjoy?
Yeah, definitely. I think all the fans have been different class. I think they really got behind us, and it's really helped. You know, I think with each game at home we've improved, and yeah, but just stay behind us, just keep supporting us, and let's see where we can go.
Who is the best striker you've played against in your career to date, do you think?
Good question.
Is there anyone that stuck out, especially at the club when you train as well, who you constantly getting one past you or anything in training?
I'd say in training, I'd say Rhodesy and Wardy seem to be putting it past me a bit too often, to be honest. Yeah, I'd say them two at the club, definitely. The rest finishes.
One of the fans has asked as well, and you can both answer this. I think in sort of Watford keeper Ben Foster's been doing it a lot, but sort of match day vlogs and that sort of a thing. Is that something you'd ever be interested in doing? Do you want to get us media boys stickers a GoPro in the back of your net for you or anything like that?
I'll leave that decision to Clem. So for me.
Do you know what? I've been asked this before, and yeah, for me, no. I think for me, the keeper's got to concentrate on the game.
Right.
I don't mind. I mean, we did when Ryan made his debut. They did one, didn't they, behind the sticks and stuff. And I watched all the footage before it went out. I don't mind it, but I think Ben's at a different stage of his career. I watch it. To be fair, it's brilliant insight. But yeah, few things tactically on there. I don't think that should be.
Is it something that, for example, if we were playing Watford, would you be having a look at it because it might give something away that he, you know, could let it in?
100%, yeah. We watch a lot of the media stuff, and that's why, like, obviously, when our inside training goes out, we try and watch it first because we don't want to give anything away either. And yeah, there has been, you know, sometimes you're looking at Twitter pictures and seeing which people have got bibs on the day before, everything, just anything to try and get that little bit of insight. But yeah, I won't be too impressed if Lee starts walking around with a GoPro before we go.
We'll leave that one for another time then, Lee. One of the last questions I'll give you, Lee, is the fans, and this is the polite way of saying this, they've picked up on your game management style of perhaps slowing it down a little bit when you're in the goal. Is that something you kind of enjoy? Because, you know, the Stoke fans were getting a bit aggy with you at the weekend, and it's something that people might pick up on. Is that part of your game, or is that something Clem has a word with you about?
No, not really. I just think there's times to do it. I think it's massive in certain parts of the game, but it's strange when I Stoke because I didn't feel like I was slowing it down. I was, you know, I was just trying to play. I was just trying to get the team on, like, to start an attack, to make the right decision. And yeah, I don't know. I think it was more their fans sort of got onto us and onto the referee, sorry, and I think it just went from there. But you know, I don't think the Stoke game was massively. I was just trying to, because it was 0-0 at the time. First half, it was 0-0, and yeah, maybe. Yeah, I didn't think I slowed it down then, but you know, it's football. People have opinions, don't they?
Just a little bit of insight into that. So I was at the fourth official saying, when their keeper was getting the ball, I was going, look, he's no different. Watch him. And he was going really slow because, yeah, the fans can turn the game. That's why it's more of an advantage to be at home. So, again, you were asking about my role earlier. Sometimes it's to try and protect because obviously if Lee gets a yellow card quite early, it's puts pressure on him. So yeah, I didn't think he was going too slow either.
Okay, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. I think we managed to.
I've slowed it down a bit too much. Like that wasn't.
I think we popped a yellow card at a throw in for delaying a little bit, but that seemed a bit out of order to me as well. I'll let you two go now. This is the last one. This is again from a fan. It's a bit of a silly one, but what's your favourite cheese?
I don't know. Stilton, maybe. I don't know. Just.
Oh no, that's a smelly one. What about you, Clem?
I'm not a big cheese fan, to be fair, but I don't mind a pizza, so whatever's on that. No,
mozzarella, I think, is the go-to on the pizza.
Oh yeah, no, I'm changing my mozzarella.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. So it's pizzas in for the keepers, and if you keep a clean sheet at Blackpool, there'll be a pizza on the bus on the way home, then maybe.
No, international break only.
Fair enough. Thank you two both for your time. I'll let you get off to the gym now, Lee, before somebody tells me off. And yeah, Blackpool away tomorrow night, and good luck both of you for that one.
Thank you.
No problem.
And thanks again to Sportsbroker for sponsoring the preview show.